Picture this. Rome, 64 AD, a silver coin sits in a merchant's palm. The denarius, pure, heavy, trusted for 3 centuries. On one side, the face of Caesar. On the other, the word fides. Faith. This coin wasn't just money, it was a promise. A contract between emperor and citizen, between power and people. For generations, that promise held. Then something happened. Something invisible. Something that would take 200 years to destroy the greatest empire on earth. The coin began to lie. War is expensive. By the 3rd century, Rome was bleeding. Barbarians at every border. Generals declaring themselves emperor every few months. Civil war, plague, chaos. The treasury was empty. But emperors still needed to pay their legions. 30 legions. 300,000 men. All demanding their wages in silver, so they made a choice. Not to raise taxes. Not to cut spending. They chose debasement. They melted down the coins. Mixed the silver with copper, restruck them with the same face. The same word, fides. The coin looked the same. But it was a lie wrapped in silver. And Rome told that lie for 200 years. It started slowly. Under Nero, the denarius was 94% silver, a small cut. Barely noticeable. By 180 AD, under Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, it dropped to 79%. Still trusted. Still accepted. Then came the crisis of the 3rd century. 50 emperors in 50 years. Most murdered, all desperate. Caracalla slashed it to 50% silver. Half metal, half hope. Gallienus went further. 5% silver. The coin was now mostly copper, painted with a silver wash that rubbed off in your hand. Merchants noticed. Prices began to double. Then triple. A measure of wheat that cost half a denarius now cost 8. Soldiers were paid in coins that bought nothing. The empire tried to hide it. Edicts were issued. Price controls. Anyone caught raising prices faced execution. It didn't work. You can't legislate trust. You can't execute your way out of inflation. By 301 AD, Emperor Diocletian issued the edict on maximum prices, freezing the cost of over 1,000 goods. Bread, wine, wages, haircuts. It failed within a year. Because the problem wasn't the prices, it was the coin. The coin had become a theater prop, a costume piece. A fiction the government insisted was real. The denarius, the coin that built an empire, was now worthless. Here's what that meant for ordinary people. A baker in Antioch wakes up. His family's been baking bread for 4 generations. He's paid rent in denarii, bought flour in denarii. Trusted the system. One day, his supplier refuses the coin. Says it's worthless, demands payment in grain instead. Or gold, or anything real. The baker can't pay. He closes his shop. Soldiers stop fighting. Why risk death for coins that buy nothing? Farmers stop selling food. Why trade wheat for metal that holds no value? Trade collapses, cities empty. The network of trust built over centuries shatters in a generation. Rome didn't fall to barbarians first. It fell to bankruptcy. Moral and economic. The empire had broken its oldest promise. Fides. Faith. Once that was gone, everything else followed. Now let's talk about today. In 1960, a U.S. quarter contained 90% silver. Real metal. Real value. By 1965, it was gone, replaced with copper and nickel. Same design. Same face. Different metal. Why? Because the government needed to print more money. The silver was too valuable. Too limiting. Sound familiar? Since 1971, when Nixon ended the gold standard, the dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Not because of war or plague. Because of the same choice Rome made. Pay the bills by diluting the currency. Today we call it quantitative easing, stimulus, liquidity injections. Rome called it debasement. The method is cleaner now. Digital, invisible. But the result is the same. The coin, now a number on a screen, loses meaning. And when money loses meaning, people stop trusting the system that prints it. So what do we learn? First, currency is trust made tangible. Destroy the currency, you destroy the bond between government and citizen. Second, inflation is not a natural disaster, it's a policy choice. And the people always pay the price. Third, empires don't collapse overnight, they erode. Coin by coin, lie by lie, promise by promise. Rome's currency didn't collapse because of barbarians. It collapsed because Rome stopped believing in itself. And once the people stopped believing in the coin, they stopped believing in the empire. History doesn't repeat, but it echoes. And the echo says this: the coin always tells the truth, even when the empire won't.